So one of the more common questions you probably get from consultations are people who filled out their SF-86, forgot to mention drug use. It's coming up now. What should they do?
That's a very common question, and it's definitely a question that concerns clients a lot because they are afraid that they are potentially lying in an official government document. And when you're responding to that type of concern, you need to first start out by considering you have to show, if you haven't stopped already, you should certainly stop smoking today. Or using whatever types of drugs. And then you should immediately call us and speak with us and ask us how we can help you mitigate those concerns so that you can continue pursuing your dreams.
Is there a way that people can amend their answers to the SF-86 after the fact?
It's difficult. There's not a formal process. You just can't submit a new form. There are forms that you can submit where you explain what's happened, but typically the government will still look at that as you having lied initially. But it's important to consider doing something like that so that you submitting a form explaining the situation because it shows that while you may have made a mistake, you are trying to correct that mistake and you're not trying to hide behind the lie.
Should people just cross their fingers and hope for the best and do nothing?
Doing nothing would be the worst option because doing nothing, and by doing nothing I take that to mean not calling a law firm such as ours or some other firm, would be that the government will most likely find out. And when they do find out, the longer the amount of time that has passed, the harder it will be to show that you were sincere in your efforts to try to correct a past mistake.
Can you just give us an example of how the government might find out after the fact?
So the government could find out. You could, by some friends that you may list as people that know you on your SF-86. You know how you have to always list someone that has known you in every place that you've ever lived. You have to name friends that you've had, people that know you at past jobs. Certainly if there's a positive test that has shown up, whether that's in college records or anything.
And probably people who might have to undergo a polygraph later on. I would imagine that this could be a big issue for them.
It comes up a lot in the polygraph. And the unfortunate part about the polygraph is that typically when someone is getting to a position that requires a polygraph, not always, but a lot of times, they can be mid-career with a family, and now they're faced with having to come to terms with a past omission or potential misleading statement. And, the government's initial response to something like that is to revoke your clearance. And so now you've got someone with a family that may not be receiving pay while they're fighting through this issue.
So bottom line, people should contact you for at least a consultation to go over their issue and figure out what to do from there.
That's correct.